There he is. Welcome back, everyone. Another day out here in the once hoarded house, and you might be noticing I'm wearing safety glasses. I just want to demonstrate something real quick. I got a valuable lesson in wearing safety glasses. I know I'm not perfectly known for it. I do kind of pick and choose when I wear them. I chose to wear them in this instance, but I'll just show you what happened. So I found this truck. I've been in the market for another truck recently, and I found this one. It needed quite a bit of work. I got a really good deal on it. It was only 1,200 bucks, and it runs just fine. But it needed brakes. It wasn't technically running when I got it, so I've already got the brakes fixed. But then it also needed new leaf springs. So that's these pieces here. It was cracked on both sides. So I got that done. Needed some exhaust work. And yeah, it's a pretty functional truck. The only thing left to do on it, really, to get it properly functional, is to fix the box. So this is really the only spot with substantial rust. There's a little bit up at that fender, but for the price I paid, and considering it's just going to be a sight truck, I don't really care that much about a little bit of rust. But it's rusted the subframe of the box. Now fortunately I can replace the box and the entire thing's fixed because the subframe is built into it, and I already priced one out at the wreckers. It's about 150 bucks. I just got to pull it myself, so that's not a big deal. So going back to my safety glasses lesson, to change out these pieces up here, the leaf springs, I had to move the exhaust up. So I had to take it off the hangers and move it up. While I was working under there, the exhaust fell down on my face. And fortunately, I had these on because it landed right here, and it actually pushed them up really hard and left that mark. So that was the only damage, fortunately. So that being said, if you're working underneath vehicles, if it's not for dropping parts, it's also for all the grit and everything that falls on you while you're working. And that's exactly why I'm usually inclined, regardless of what I'm doing, to wear safety glasses while I'm doing that, because it's really awful. You'll wind up with a lot of rust and stuff dropping on you, and it often gets in your eyes. It's beyond annoying, and it can damage your eyes. So I always wear them under there. So at any rate, I should probably get back to the regular episode here. So this is where I left off before Labor Day weekend, and now we're done with Labor Day. So I got to get right back to where I started. I'm gonna finish up the electrical in the kitchen here. So just to get everybody back up to speed, and myself as well, we have the kitchen plug up. Now we have to route the lines from there coming around to the other outlets. I've got a switch here I got to run power to, and that's going to be a light that's going directly over this nice little bump out peninsula here. This is going to be a wide counter space for Xana to work. And then we've got to route power to this switch, and that's going to be off the same light circuit. Because of LEDs, you can run an awful lot of lights off the same circuit. It's not like when we were using the old halogen or incandescent bulbs. And it's based on not so much how many items you have in the circuit, but how much power is required to use them. So I think we've got lots of room for lights, because I'll be doing primarily LEDs. We've got this kitchen circuit in. I got to route a line from here to there, and then this line coming up, this is going to be another switch in this box, and that's going down here. Now I did see a comment, don't put an outlet in where you have your taps. Now this is relatively common practice because garbage disposals come with a plug. They're meant to be plugged in there. And what you do have to do, you can put plugs in where there is power supply, but it has to be ground protected. So it has to be a GFCI plug that's in there. So we're going to make sure of that. And out of the same box, I'm going to have power run for the dishwasher. Now for right now, they're just going to be stubs because the power itself, or the box itself, is going to be inside the cabinet. So I'm going to route the lines, and when I go to install the cabinets, that's when all the box and everything else is going to be done. Now this fridge plug, I put it in, and I feel like I had a little bit of brain fog when I was doing it. I wasn't sure if I should put it low or put it high, and maybe the reason I had a little bit of brain fog is because you can put it there, and a lot of people do, but it is nice to have it higher up. And I was thinking about it, it's nice when the cord doesn't drag when you're pushing the fridge back, and it's also nice if down the road we want to lay out the kitchen differently. Let's say we put cabinets here instead of a countertop, and this is something my father-in-law brought up. If we ever want to change the layout and put a counter here and move the fridge somewhere, and you know, who knows if that happens, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Well, now we've already got a plug there, so you know, it was a good point, and I'm going to put it there. I didn't route that line yet, and I held off because I wasn't sure about it. So I think we got a good enough game plan at this point. Let's get these lines routed. And after that, I got a couple other things I'm hopefully getting done today, and hopefully makes this a little more interesting for you, because I know how you love electrical. I enjoy doing it, but yeah, it gets a little old after a while. But once the kitchen's done, that's the bulk of it. There's a little bit down in the basement, but that's much easier and much quicker. So let's get to it. Alright, so we got that done, and this wall is pretty much complete. We got the oven, we got the hood, we've got the outlets covered. There's a little stem poking out here, it's hard to see. So now what we have to do over here to be complete is the lights. Now the lights that are left, because I just added one, we've got this one here. And then we've got the second circuit, which is going to be the kitchen undercab lights. And then I've also got to think about the bathroom light. I hadn't done that yet. So that's now 4. And then we've got this one here, which I don't have to power up. I just have to connect it. But this hallway or this stairway light, it's going to be one up here and one down there. I'm not going to worry about that yet. But I got to feed power to 3 different lights, and I don't want to clutter up a box. So although this is the shortest circuit, this box here to the bathroom, there's already a lot going on there, and that's a single box. Over here, that's just a single wire going into the outlet. So I got lots of room in here to add more wires. So I'm going to route power to here, and then I'm going to have power going out to the 2 other switches as well. And that way I won't be cluttering things up too much. So let's start by getting power there, and then we'll get power to the other 2 switches. Okay, so this wall's done, and I managed to get this cavity well organized. I'm actually very pleased with how that turned out. Very nice and organized. And yeah, so that's going to be a busy box. Not as busy as some of the other 2-gang boxes I got, but busy enough. So this completes the wall. So this line's going to remain stubbed out like that, because what I'm going to do along the center line, because we're likely going to have cabinets over here, and we may have full height cabinets, so when they swing out, you don't want them to hit a light fixture. So whatever goes in here is going to be some kind of a flush mount, probably a can light, just because they're more serviceable down the road. I really like the puck lights, and you know, some of those. They're especially nice when you're doing exteriors, soffit lights, things like that. If you're doing a lot of lights in the ceiling, they're great. The only problem with them is, as much as they do last a decent amount of time, when they burn out, they can be a pain because you have to replace the entire fixture. Sometimes you can pull them out and you know, just plug in a new one, but the way I see it is, you know, 5-10 years down the road, you don't really know that they're going to be making compatible pieces for that anymore. So it could be a pain. Can lights, you just have to switch a bulb, and occasionally you change out the lens. So it's not really that big of a deal. So that's just a preference. I do like puck lights though, especially for exteriors, and I'll probably be using some here and there when I actually get around to it. So let's see what's going on the other side here. So I got my rough line in for the under cab lights. That's there, so I got to run them. And I have little holes here, so conveniently the top of this tile is right around where the bottom of the cabinet's going to be. You want to get these holes nice and close, and we're just going to stub lines out. So there's basically going to be 2 lines coming out here. I might have to put in a bigger hole. 2 lines, then it's going to come up. I'm going to have it going to a can light up here. And then down here, and then it's got to hop across, come down here, and then it's got to go across, and it's got to come down over here. So the biggest difficulty with undercab lights is that you basically have to have a wire pulled per cabinet section. So any break in the cabinets means you got to run a whole other line. So they can be a bit of a pain, but they are really nice for working in the kitchen, and I like them even just to leave on now and then. You know, they're a nice low-powered light to leave on sometimes. So I think I'll tackle that one next. so for that chain, we got that light connected to this light going up, connecting to this light going up again, connecting to a can light over the sink, or a flush mount light, I should say. I don't think I have room for a can. And then connecting to this light, and then to the switch. So that gets that string of lights out of the way, and very little left to do in the kitchen as far as electrical goes. Oh, gives me a good feeling. That's that much closer. So, not sure if you noticed, I got my Buy Grit and Grace shirt, and it's kind of cool. I only really wear plain shirts. I don't like shirts with words on them typically, so when I do get something, it's usually pretty plain. So I'm kind of like that. I'm not that kind of what's the word? I don't know. I feel like my wife would say I'm not fashionable, but that's fine. So yeah, we do have we have a little store opened up, and it's run by my sister. Now we were having some issues with who we had before, so if you want your own Grit and Grace t-shirt or a mug or something, feel free to head over there and see what we have to offer. So Xana just showed up, and she brought one of my new shirts, and this is it here. So we've been getting a lot of ideas in the comment section for different shirts and different things like that, and our previous merchandise provider was not working out. So we've gotten away from them completely, and we've moved actually to my sister, who's now handling it. And where's she handling it?
On Etsy. It's on her Etsy page. We'll post a link in the description, and there'll be a link on our regular channel page, and you guys can go there to order the shirts. And they're actually, I think, a little bit cheaper than the other website we were using, and they're all designed by her. She is a teacher, and she's very, very good with designing and digital creations. So
as you can see,
yeah. So this was one of our
really
favorite.
liked this. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of our favorite recommendations from you guys. So we had a shirt made of it, and yeah. So Andrew really liked it. This was his favorite design too. He picked it out. So we're also going to be doing a brick contest. I'm going to be posting a Facebook post. We were kind of thinking about the easiest way to be able to contact everybody. YouTube doesn't have its own messaging app or anything like that. So if you head over to our Facebook page, then you can see the post there. I'll have it pinned at the top, and comment your guess on how many bricks you think we took out of this house. And you'll be getting a gift card to the Etsy store. And then that way you'll be able to order whatever you want, whatever sizes you want or anything.
And you can get this, and there's mugs, right?
There's mugs, there's
you can't go
stickers,
without coffee mugs.
There's tumblers, I think. Yeah, she did a really great job. We're really, really excited about some of the different things that she's put on there. So, so yeah, make sure you go to our Facebook page. We'll have that linked in the description as well, and find the post for the brick contest. Give us your best guess for the bricks that you think we pulled out of the house and out of the property. And what other rules were there? They couldn't be broken bricks.
Yeah, so whole bricks.
Yeah.
So if you go through the previous videos, you'll notice I got them all neatly stacked out by the shed in the back, the shed that I haven't fixed yet. And
the red shed.
The red shed, the forbidden shed.
Yeah.
I still haven't gone through that. There's still a little bit of hoard left.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the bricks that are in that stack, I'm going to count that stack up, and that's what we're counting. So no broken bricks. So as I huff them away, if they were broken, I chucked them. I didn't keep them. Wasn't worth the time. And as far as your guess, be careful when you make a guess, because here's what we're going to do. We don't want people putting, 100 guesses, just one person. So it'll be your first guess. So if we see you're on there and you put the right amount, we're going to double check. We're going to backtrack and make sure you didn't previously put another guess in.
Yeah, one guess per person.
One guess per person. And yeah, so one guess, and may the best guesser win. Right. I mean, I haven't actually done a count recently, so I have no idea what we're up to, and I just kept finding them outside. So I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go through the videos. You're gonna have to look, because at this point, there's a good chance you know about as much as I do.
Yeah.
I just know how much the approximate weight is.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
We're measuring in tons, not pounds.
Wow, that's a lot. Well, and then also the Facebook post will have more details on it, so make sure you read the whole post so that you can follow the rules. So, all right, I guess that's it. I should probably let you get back to work, right?
Yeah, I got a lot to do, so let's get it done.
All right, bye.
Oh, I want the mug. I'm a real coffee person, so I'm still waiting to get that in. So, we're most of the way done the kitchen. We're going to have this done very soon, and then we're going to hop outside. But before I get back up and running here, I just wanted to take a quick second and remind you to like, share, subscribe, all that. And I have to remind you, it's part of my job at this point, because that's really a lot of what keeps our videos going, and it's what keeps the algorithm, the YouTube machine, pushing them. So the more you do that, the further we go. So if you're liking what we're offering, please do that. So I'm going to get this outlet up in the ceiling and drop down to run that outlet. And after that, we have to run a line from here. The other switch is going to be the garbage disposal, but this is also going to be the power supply for the dishwasher. And so I'm going to be using a 12-3 line, and that'll be a new color for you. I believe it's purple. And we're going to be dropping it from here into the floor and over, and we're going to stub it up somewhere where the edge of the cabinet's going to be. And once the cabinet's in, that's when we're going to worry about conduit and boxes and everything else. It'll just be a stub for right now. And I've been playing this game of construction for a little while, and I can tell you one of the biggest challenges, and it's kind of nice that this is my own job. I'm really the only person here, so there's not much to worry about. But when you have wire stubbed out of the floor, it's a huge risk, because a lot of times, people step on them, they're not paying attention, they don't know it's there, because a lot of trades that come into jobs, they don't spend a lot of time there. They kind of come and go, and some people are only there for a day, or some people are just delivering materials. And the more that line gets stepped on, sometimes it winds up having to be replaced towards the end of the project at the worst possible time. Because they've actually sheared it off near the floor. So I've actually got it pretty well protected as it is, but we usually go through lengths to make sure it stays safe, especially with islands when it's literally sort of in the middle of a big empty floor. It can be a huge pain. So we'll get that stubbed up and ready to go, and we're just about done with the rough-in here. There it is, all curled up in a ball. That's why it was so stiff to push through. So that 12-3 line, so the 12 gauge line is already a little stiff to push through, but because there's an extra line in that 12-3, it's about 25% stiffer. So a bigger hole definitely helps when it comes to fishing it around. Oh. All right, so we got all that done. There is one wire left, but before I get to that, I kind of want to get everything boxed in so I can just leave it until we're ready to actually throw in the outlets and everything. So I'm going to get that done, and then I'll get that last wire run. So it's hard not to underestimate the thoughtfulness of a child. So my son just made me a sandwich, a ketchup sandwich, just ketchup, and I think I'll have to eat it for him. Alright, so I dropped my phone and I guess I didn't realize that it turned off when I did that, so I'll just show you what I did real quick and we'll go downstairs and finish up. So over here I got the fridge wired in and I cut that hole out there. So let's head down, and I just got to tack down that wire that's heading to the panel, and I'm going to throw all those lines towards the panel now and be done with that. And there is the kitchen wiring. All right, so it's now September, and I often forget around this time of year, like I shouldn't, that it starts getting dark earlier, and I don't have a habit of planning accordingly, which is odd because I'm working indoors right now, but I'm not actually used to this. I work outdoors pretty much all year long, so I should know better, but I don't. So I didn't have time to get any of the outdoor stuff done. I should have stopped earlier and hopped over to that, but I didn't. So I just had dinner and now I'm back. It's a little cooler. Got a shirt on. And how do I switch this? So, got a little bit of a mess here to clean up. And I think after that's done, I'm going to call it a day. So let's get that done and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so cleanup's done, and as I've been working, I've noticed Henry sightings. So for those of you who are newer to the channel, Henry is what we named the mouse who's been meandering around the property. He's got quite a few siblings here. He's got a lot of kids here, and I think it's time to evict them. So I've got here what I need to make it happen. So we're going to get these traps ready to go. Oh. So we're going to load the peanut butter on the traps and then we're going to set them around the house. Whole jar of peanut butter. So now I got some good advice at one point. Now when you set traps, what you may have noticed is that sometimes they just lick the peanut butter off the trap and it's just left empty. So I'm trying to remember, I think it was my father-in-law who told me, put the peanut butter on the bottom side. That way they have to really spend some time there. And eventually they do get snapped. Since I've been doing that, I've had much better luck with my traps. So that's what we'll be doing here. I got 6 traps. And we're going to put it to the bottom side. That one's sensitive. I don't think the mouse is going to stand too much of a chance against this one. They just got to smell it. Yeah, Well, if they can stay set for the night, I think they'll be very effective. Duly noted. Keep them away from each other, because if one goes, they all go. My goodness, these are very sensitive traps. Okay, let's try this again. So they make those plastic traps that aren't so bad. They're easier to set and all that, but what I find with them is they don't kill the mouse nearly as quick. And I find that a little less humane. I prefer, if you're going to kill a mouse, just get it done quick. Don't clamp them and drag it out. So I like the conventional mouse traps for that reason. It's pretty instant. Alright, let's try this again. Now everything's all slicked up from the peanut butter. Ah! If anybody's getting a good laugh out of this, good on you. Alright, I know I can do this. It's just getting worse because everything's all slippery now. Maybe if I wipe the peanut butter off. This is awful. There he is. That's the vent I keep seeing him come out of. Oh. Oh no. Well, goodbye, Henry. Suppose this is the end. I gotta say, I'm a little bit affected by that. Anyway, I'm going to get this last trap set up, and I'm going to reset that one. And yeah. Alright, so the trap's reset. I think the next time I come across a lifetime experience like that, I'm going to turn away. And with that, let's have a look at what we've done today. So, got a few holes here. Those will be easy to patch in. So we got the kitchen wired. And we've got the undercab lights. Everything's good to go. We got our over the sink light. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. This phase of the project is coming to a close, at least in the upstairs. All that's left is from the switch in the bathroom. I got to run a sconce light and a vent. I'm not sure if I need a vent up there yet, but maybe. So that's pretty much it for the main floor. And with that, we had a good day. And yeah, the electrical, we're getting done with it. So that feels pretty good. So I just want to take a moment and thank all of you for continuing to watch, and all the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and especially the members. It's really much appreciated, and we're going to continue to keep you along for the ride. So till next time, we'll see you. Bye.